YouTube, what's happening? It is Monday, September 30th, and as you can see, we have two baseball games that matter to three different teams today. And what do I mean by that? Well, it's a doubleheader between the Mets and the Braves, but this is day 163, technically, of the baseball games, even though these two teams are doing makeup because of the hurricane and the weather. But we see this comes into play because Arizona's already played their games. Atlanta and New York have to play their games, and the way they're doing it is they're doing a doubleheader today. If Atlanta wins one game, they're in. If the Mets win the other game, they're in. If either team sweeps both games today, Arizona's in, and the team that swept is in. So, I mean, it's not looking good for Arizona, let's be honest. But we're going to look at the Atlanta and New York game. We're going to break it down like a normal game. So let's go back up to here. We see the two games. We see who's pitching. In the first game, we have McGill versus Schwellenbach. And in the second game, they have it set for Severino versus Sale. They don't want to use Chris Sale. They want to save Chris Sale for the playoffs. So that's what Atlanta's already came out and pretty much said, that they're literally saving Chris Sale. If Atlanta wins game one, Chris Sale will not pitch game two. They've already pretty much confirmed this from what I've seen. So New York, I don't know what they've done on their side. So really, it's game one. Whoever wins game one, you're good. So those are the two pitchers. Let's look over at the numbers. We have the numbers here. We see what they're up to, and it is a battle of mid recently. Both in the 20s when it comes to runs recently. Both. Atlanta's batting average has been terrible the last three games at 183. Mets have gotten a little bit better, but including the last time out, which was yesterday, they batted 324 while Atlanta batted 235. Atlanta was playing Kansas City, and the Mets were playing, I believe it was Milwaukee. That's what it was. So Mets are on a one-game winning streak. Atlanta's on a long game losing streak. So yeah, this is fun. Drama's building. This is what we want to see. Playoff baseball. Because this is basically the playoffs. Let's just say that's what it is. So this is the first real playoff game. So yeah, there's no difference here. So to me, the offenses are pretty much the same with a slight advantage to New York based on how they batted in the last couple days. So let's go back here and let's look at some pitchers a little bit closer. So McGill, Schwellenbach, we'll start with these two. There's not even any lines out for game two yet, so I don't know if I'm really going to go into game two because we don't really know who's pitching. So, but McGill's going out there, and you see McGill has been good his whole season. He pitched against the Braves on 7/27, 5 hits, 4 earned, 4 Ks. Not the best game, his worst game so far. And then he was this was like a stretch where he was just kind of bad overall. It's the only time he faced the Braves his entire year. You see what he has done. And we got Schwellenbach. Hey, they gave him a picture finally. Hey, look at ESPN finally updated. This dude hasn't had a picture for the whole season. Good job, ESPN. About time. You can see what he's done. He just faced the Mets, went 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned. Great. McGill didn't face, no, he didn't. So yeah, he faced him there. He faced him back here, went 7 innings, 2 hits, 11 Ks. He likes to face the Mets. He's pretty good against the Mets. He faced them twice, 2 great outings both times. Let's look. We're doing it. Going to props. We're gonna dig deeper and see what we have. So we're gonna look at bats too. We only got one real game to talk about, so we're gonna dig as deep as we can to see if we can find some value. We're starting with Schwellenbach. Let's look at your matchup first. We want the matchup history. Let's see. That's the Mets versus Schwellenbach right there. A whole lot of nothing. Just red galore, a lot of red, a lot of red. Vientos has got 400 with a home run, but everyone else has either a 200 or a 0. That is not boding well for the Mets, not at all. Schwellenbach is pretty good. Let's look at how the Mets are versus righties. You can see how they are. You have your numbers. You got 350 here. Doesn't play much. 244, 308. Decent numbers. Okay. Let's look at Schwellenbach's props. Let's go earned runs. Last 2 games has been absolutely cooking. 1 run, couple here and there, sure. Head to head, we have 0 and 1. If we go back to strikeouts, we have strikeouts have fallen down recently for him, which is okay. That's fine. They might be limiting him for the playoffs. That can easily happen. We understand that. Looking head to head, 11 and 4 in his last 2 games. He cooked in that first one. Hits allowed, 2 and 3, and then in the last 10, he's been great in not allowing hits. Under 5.5 hits is my favorite prop I've seen so far. And walks, I'm not touching walks. You can if you want to, but I'm not, because he just doesn't walk much. So That's Schwellenbach's props. Let's go to McGill. Let's look at him a little closer. You want McGill. Atlanta versus McGill. Ozuna's got a 500 with 2 home runs, 2 RBIs, and a 1.5 OPS. That's pretty damn good. 278, 222, 400, not many at bats. Got some zeros though. Some aren't great, but you know, Ozuna is the one that stands out the most. So that's the one you got to be worried about. And Atlanta versus righties, you can see how they are. You got some reds, you got mid 2s, 298. Remember, Atlanta's been bottom 10 offense most of the year. So it's not like Atlanta's all of a sudden just, a juggernaut. So let's look at the earned runs. You can see how McGill has done. His last 3 games has been amazing. He's been so good. And then head-to-head against the Braves, now he faced him once. He faced him 3 times last year, so 3-5, 3-4. So, but the Braves' offense was amazing last year. Remember how great they were? Just you couldn't stop them. So, yeah, so that's what he's done. Looking at strikeouts, 4 strikeouts in his 1 game this year. Not many. He doesn't strike out many. And if we look at last 10, we see how he's a little all over the place, anywhere from 3 to 4, all the way up to 9. But yeah, hits allowed 5. Yeah, that's what he does. He gives a 5. They're thinking 5.5. Why would they say this against the Braves, who offense is not good? Under 5.5 might be the play for him too, because 4, 9, 8, 4. The only one that really looked good was Ozuna. So I don't get it. So and let me look at walks for you. There are the walks. There you go. Have fun with walks. We're also gonna look at bats. Yeah, that's right. We're digging, just like I told you, we're going to dig deep when the playoffs start, and the playoffs have started. So here we are. We're looking at it. So the ones that stand out, we see last 10. We got some green. Let me zoom this in 1. Zoom. There we go. 80% here for Laureano, Iglesias, Harris. Mainly, there's a couple Mets, mainly Braves, but still in the last 5. That's not good. 3 out of 5. There's 1. There's a 1 out of 5. Ugh. And that is Ozuna. Okay, Ozuna's just not good right now. Ozuna's not cooking. He's 1 out of 5 recently. So who's going to show up when the lights are the brightest? Or it's this afternoon when the sun's the brightest, because it's the daytime game. So this is what there's your stats. You can see what they've been to. Walks for Olsen, a lot of HRR. Walks. Harris has a home run in 4 out of 10 games. He's the highest home run. More walks. So there you go. So for me, let's come back over here. Actually, let's go over here. We have Atlanta's minus 154. Your total 7.5. So for me, with the way we look, what we just saw, the bats are okay. Let me show it. Let me put it on the screen. Let's walk through this. Let's walk through the process. These numbers are not great. They're not good. They're not terrible, but they're just not good. They're not, they're 20s. They're 20s with 27, 16. That's not good. That leans pitching. Okay, we just saw both pitchers look amazing recently. Schwellenbach and McGill both look great. And we saw the bats and the props don't look the best. So for me personally, I'm going to play this one play, and I love this play because unless one of the bats pop off, how is it going to, I don't see how. I'm going to come here. I'm going to take the under 7.5. So I'm going to go with, I know it's playoff baseball. Somebody might show up. One team, maybe Schwellenbach cracks, or maybe McGill cracks under the pressure, but who knows? Show me, because as of right now, both pitchers are amazing to me. Both offenses are not. So give me the under 7.5 in this one. And for the second game, I'll show you the stats for real quick for the pitchers, just in case. If the Mets win, then Sale will pitch this one. So, and I don't know if Severino is still going to pitch game 2. I have not seen that yet. So let's dig a little deeper. Let's go over here. Nope. Here we go. So we can get rid of these two. Let's open up Severino and Sale. I'll just in case I got to show you this. You're not going to find a line for it because there's no lines out. That's why this is the only game up there. There's no game 2 lines because books don't want you parlaying Braves, Mets, or Braves, Mets, or Mets, Braves. They don't want you doing a double parlay like that. That's probably what's going to happen, because if one team sweeps, Arizona gets in. Arizona's probably cooked, let's be honest. So let's look. But then again, these two teams are rivals. They could easily just try to limit. One could try to sweep. Could easily happen. So Severino, let me show you Severino's stats. I don't have to show you the numbers. Those haven't changed. The batting props haven't changed. So we'll just show Severino against Atlanta. 7 hits, 4 earned. Not good. Not good. That's not what you want to do. And then he faced Atlanta here, 7 hits, 2 earned, 6 Ks. That's better. That's a better start. That's an okay start. We'll take that. And he faced Atlanta a third time, 4 hits over 5 innings. Still pretty good. So good, and just not as good. So, and Chris Sale, do I need to show you the numbers? Do I have to show you Chris Sale's 18-3, first ranked 238 in a 101 whip, and second in strikeouts? I mean, this dude's probably the Cy Young. I mean, probably. So here you go. Where do you face the Mets? There we go. 7 innings, 2 earned runs. Hey, they got 2 earned runs and a home run and 9 strikeouts. And that is the, that's the only time you faced him. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, Chris Sale, if he's pitching game 2, I think it's a wrap for New York. I'm just gonna tell you right now. If it goes to game 2, I'm taking the Braves. That means New York won game 1. So, so that's it. Well, no, I can show you one more thing. Let me just go. I can't even show you props because I don't have props for these 2 pitchers because there's nothing out there yet. So, okay, I showed you everything I can. I'm taking the under in game 1, under 7.5. If it goes to game 2, I'm taking Atlanta money line with Chris Sale. That's it. So let me know in the comments what you're playing. I appreciate you being here, and we'll see you tomorrow for more actual playoff baseball. Yes. Peace.